So before I go through my presentation, I have something to tell you. I'm not a Kata expert, not at all. And after so many great presentations, I just confirmed that I'm still a learner. So I am here, what I'm doing here. I'm here because I have a beautiful story to tell you about Kata transforming leaders and as a consequence, our entire organization. And I hope you like it. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Renata Marques, once again. I come from Brazil, a small city in the middle of Brazil. I'm married. This is a picture of my lovely family. I'm married with Rafael and have one lovely daughter, Beatriz. I'm a biologist. I'm graduated in science. And for the last 15 years, I have been working for NovoNordisk. And for the last 2, I'm head of HR. A little bit about us. At NovoNordisk, we are driving change to defeat diabetes and other serious chronic disease, including obesity. It's one of our focus areas. NovoNordisk is a global healthcare company with more than 90 years of innovation and leadership on diabetes care. Headquarters is in Denmark. NovoNordisk employs about approximately 42,000 people all over the world in 79 different countries, including here in the US, where we have, for instance, one production facility in North Carolina, Clayton, North Carolina. But in Brazil, where I come from, NovoNordisk, as mentioned before, has the biggest insulin manufacturing in Latin America with more than 1,000 employees. And we are responsible to supply 15% of the total insulin used in the world. So it's a lot. It's a big responsibility for us, but also make us feel really proud about the work we do there. But even though diabetes is such an important subject, we should never forget about it, I'm not here to talk about it. I'm going to tell you another story. Back 2017, only 2 years ago, my leader came to me and said, Renata, you have actually, I'm going to offer you a new job. You have been doing a good work as a leader for some years, and I would like to take the head of HR. Then I thought with myself, oh my God, HR, no. No. I'm a biologist. I'm a scientific person. I know nothing about HR. And by the way, nobody likes HR, including myself. And then I thought, it's going to be the end of my career. I was just thinking. And then he continued, Renata, but there is one more thing. We are going to integrate the lean organization into HR. Then I thought again, okay, this is something that I like. I like lean. I have been working with lean for some years. I have some experience. This can be interesting. And then when I thought it was all, he continued. But now I have a challenge for you. You should make it happen together. Lean and HR should be only one unit. It should be combined. Okay. Then I immediately said, yes, I'm in. Because he gave me the chance to do something that not many people have. To try something completely different. Because HR is a separate word in an organization. Normally they are not integrated in the business. So I said to him, yes, why not? But then I asked him, but how to start? What should be the first step? I was completely lost in this process. It was not something that I was familiar with. And then he gave me 2 books. He gave me the HR value proposition, that's the Bible of HR. And he gave me Toyota Kata. For the first time in my life, I've heard the word Kata. I never heard about Kata before. So after a few months, studying the process, understanding the current condition, and also, of course, reading the books, I read many times the books, I got the conclusion that we should rethink the way we do HR. The current model was no longer respected and accepted by our leaders and our employees. Just to illustrate what I'm saying, 70% of the activities performed by HR, is it a pointer here? Yes. 70% was extremely operational activities that did not add any value to the business. A lot of control, a lot of bureaucracy. 20% of the activities or the tasks performed by HR, they are focused on continuous improvement. Is that enough? So how much improvement, how much new solutions, how many new things we were bringing to our organization? Not that much. We were focused on controlling people. And 5%, only 5% was connected to strategy. Basically, we just discussed about the strategy twice a year. So twice a year, we make the question, what is the organization we need for the future? What kind of competence, what kind of people, what kind of behavior we should develop in our organization in order to be able to deliver the long-term strategies twice a year. For me, this is not the best scenario. So I believe that we should move, and we should move fast. We were years late because the rest of the organization, they were far away in terms of continuous improvement. They have been working with continuous improvement for many years, and HR was in the past. So how do I see HR in the future? Simple, agile, less control, and more trust. Only 4 elements. And if I can elaborate a little bit more, we should minimize the number of the amount of operational activities to the minimum level. Only the ones that we need to keep the business running. Of course, we cannot kill payments, right? We should keep paying people's salary. So some of the operational tasks, they have to be done because it's part of the business. But all the other controls and excess of bureaucracies should be removed. It was necessary to stop a lot of activities that HR was doing in order to release time to our leaders to do what they have to do on the shop floor. It was not easy because we have been working in this model, in this concept for many years. But this required a lot of alignment, a lot of discussions, a lot of things that we had to do in the HR for them to be able to stop doing things and release time for our leaders. Leaders were sitting on the table filling a lot of HR templates, performance management, whatever, organization review, all these R and Ps that HR likes. The other thing, we should improve a lot and increase the amount of time that we were using to improve the process, because we were not bringing new solutions. And the solution that we used to bring did not add value to our customer. We were not helping our employees. We were not helping our leaders to get better. We were just creating more things for them that they did not ask for. So we should put a lot of focus and learn every day. We also need to improve our process on a daily basis. We need to learn, we need to test, we need to do hypothesis test, and also learn from that. And of course that we should be part of the game, not only supporting. HR should be part of the game. We should think strategically. We should be able to think about short-term and long-term strategy. And how do we see HR in the future? How can we help the organization to develop? So how can we be a better player in this scenario? Because in my way of seeing, HR is responsible to change the culture. And if we were not working on that sense, so how come we would be able to change the culture of the organization? For us, the learning process is the most important. We would never focus on results itself. We would like to develop the people, our people, for them to be able to deliver the right results. So, next step. After doing all this analysis, of course that it took a long time, but after doing all the analysis, we saw a very strong connection between the HR we desire for the future and the Kata elements. And then a question came to our mind. So why not use Kata to transform not only HR, but the entire organization? Why not? Maybe Kata was the answer that we were looking for to bring HR to another level. But then a question came into my mind. Okay, it's something completely different, but what would be the consequence? To put focus on HR, use HR to develop the organization, the leaders, our employees? How would that work? We did not know. We didn't have the answer. But we decided to try. It was a shot in the dark, but we decided to do it. This is what a Kata is about, right? And then, at this time, we started our Kata journey. We started by doing a VSM, the value stream mapping for the entire process. We identified takt time, lead time, cycle time. Based on that, we saw the bottlenecks that we have on the process. And then we defined the first Kata challenge. We had at this time a lot of people involved, and I have not done anything alone. Actually, it was a big group. It was a great teamwork. And actually, I have a lot of my colleagues here from NovoNordisk that helped a lot. We had directors, we had the Lean team, we had HR partners. They were part of this development. We have also important role for our CVP, because the way that I believe, if the person on the top does not buy the idea, it will never fly. So it is an important role for the CVP or the vice president or plant manager, whatever, to understand and to buy the idea. So when we defined the first Kata challenge, we were full of energy. All of us engaged to start. We have prepared the leaders. We spent almost 6 months to roll out the first Kata. Training, understanding the process, learning about Kata, understanding the takt time, so where we should act, where we should define the first Kata challenge. And then when we decided, we were ready to go to the shop floor to start to run it. But when we start the first katas, we realized that we made a huge mistake. Oops. We forget something extremely important. Our shop floor people. They were not ready for Kata. They had never heard about Kata before. Kata was something completely new for them. So the leaders were ready. We were full of energy. We prepared a lot. Also the HR partners and the lead team. But our employees were not. They did not understand why we need to implement Kata. We were doing good. We had good performance. So why we need something different? They were afraid of making mistakes. They did not understand, okay, now we have a methodology that we can make mistakes. What is that about? They were also afraid to do not know the answers, because it was not like this in the past. We also pushed them. You have to know the answer. What is the answer? You should understand your process. So they are afraid of that. But the most important thing, they were afraid of losing their job by optimizing the process. Because when we optimize the process, we know that we may need less resources. So they realized that by implementing a strong methodology as Kata, they maybe lose their jobs. So they were really afraid. At this time, we decided to stop the process and give one step back. We listened to them. And then we came back with a very strong communication plan, explained them why we are doing that, why Kata would help us with the future challenge. Why does that make sense for us to go ahead with Kata? So we spent a lot of time explaining to them what was about it, why we believe that Kata could help us with the future challenge. And we also made a very strong commitment to them. Nobody would be fired by implementing continuous improvement in Kata. Nobody. They should not be afraid of that. If we have a release of resource in one of the areas, they would be allocated to where we need more help. So after that, they start to believe. They start to believe, and we saw the transformation starting. So we have provided them knowledge. So 1,000 employees were really trained on Kata, and some of you had the chance to saw yesterday and took experience yesterday one of the trainings we did with the bicycles. It was one of them, but we have provided them knowledge, so they were really understand the strategy of the site and how we deployed the strategy onto the shop floor and the katas. So it was clear for them the reason why we were doing this. So knowledge was extremely important. We also had our leaders on the shop floor with a very clear purpose. They were there to understand the process and also to get closer to the employees. They were there to listen to them, to learn with them. So we released time from the leaders. We stopped a lot of HR activities that I mentioned before for them to be able to be on the shop floor doing what they had to do. We also saw a transformation in our employees because they had the chance to be developed every single day in the coaching sessions. They were thinking scientifically. They had the chance to try new hypotheses, to experiment and to learn. And this was happening on a daily basis. They were really happy and engaged about it. And we also saw a positive effect on the engagement when we allowed them to make mistakes and understand that this was part of the learning. We stopped blaming the mistakes because it used to be something common. So we accept that we did not know everything, and this should be to all of us, leaders and employees. And this also has created this positive effect on the employees when they have the chance to experiment and learn from that. With other words, we start to improve our process with respect for our people. But I would like you to hear this not only from me, but also from them.
O que mudou para mim como profissional quando eu comecei a minha experiência com o Kata foi algo mais leve. Eu fiquei mais dona do meu processo. E o Kata, o mais interessante do Kata é que eu não tenho uma meta para cumprir, eu tenho um desafio. Esse desafio eu não tenho pressão para conseguir, eu não tenho bônus relacionado, eu tenho desafio que eu e minha equipe definimos. E isso é contagiante.
Eu tenho muito orgulho de falar do Kata, porque o Kata mudou a minha maneira de liderar. Deu um toque especial no meu estilo de liderança.
Eu, como gerente, focava muito em termos de número, né? Eu queria ver o número, queria ver só o resultado. Mas quando eu passei a ter contato com o Kata e as possibilidades que ele oferece na relação com o empregado e passar a conhecer mais as pessoas no dia a dia, isso faz com que a gente consiga extrair o melhor delas.
Nós envolvemos todo o time que está trabalhando junto. E ficou mais leve porque é conhecendo o meu processo, é desenvolvendo as pessoas, é um process confirmation que eu faço naturalmente, sem ter que ser obrigatório, é um feedback que eu falo com dados, com provas, que nós estamos, eu e meu liderado, vivenciando ao mesmo tempo, sem ser perceptivo.
Estar próximo do processo onde as coisas acontecem, conhecer todas as variáveis que impactam positivo e negativamente no processo, além de estar próximo de todo o time, dos liderados e fazer com que o feedback seja uma coisa natural.
O que a gente às vezes vê no mercado é um foco excessivo sobre o negócio somente, sobre os números somente. Eu acho que o componente pessoas dentro do Kata é fantástico e você vê as pessoas desenvolvendo, gera um prazer muito grande no dia a dia.
O Kata, para mim, mudou a clareza que eu tenho que ter na minha área, em função de estabelecer estratégias para suportar o site e, consequentemente, a NovoNordisk nos seus desafios.
Dentro da parte de linha, eu acho que essa é a maior vitória que a gente pode ter. O número é sim importante, mas trazer as pessoas junto com o número é também tão quão importante a isso.
Além de uma das coisas que eu acho mais bonito, que é aceitar que errar faz parte do processo de aprendizagem.
So you may ask me, so what we have achieved so far? Even though results was never our main priority was to learn. The learning process was always our focus, and it still is. But of course that the ones that have started the Kata knows that the result comes, and sometimes it comes very fast. And I could bring here a lot of process results that we got since 2017 when we started the Kata. But I decided to bring the ones that I consider are the most important ones. I'm talking about 2% turnover only. 450 days without any accident. 1.8% of absence, all kind of absence. 96% of sustainable engagement, 0.8% of work-related stress. And we were placed as the third best place to work in our state, I'm sorry. So for me, this is what makes sense. This is why Kata makes sense for us, is to invest in our people and get the best results. It was not easy, and it's still not easy, not easy. We are in a process, we are in a journey, we still have a lot to do, but if you ask me if I would do that again, my answer is yes. I do believe after 2 years that Kata is about people and HR is about people, so in my head, makes a lot of sense to integrate HR with Kata, because I do believe that by investing in our people, by giving them the chance to develop and being closer to them, they will deliver amazing results. And we are the proof of that. So, if you want to see the transformation with your own eyes, you are more than welcome to contact me or one of my colleagues here, and also to visit NovoNordisk in Brazil. Thank you very much.